Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne, and I bring you a video tonight titled "When She Walks Away." You're going to enjoy this one. Before we go any further, always know my videos in the dating space. They're inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. I've been checking the tracking. Everyone who's placed your orders, everyone should have received them by now. Or if you haven't received them, they're definitely coming in the coming days. But according to my records, everyone, for the most part, has received their books. And thank you again for ordering copies of my books and for donating and subscribing and engaging with me. I truly do appreciate you all. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Continue to push me with the algorithm and to continue to help me to grow this movement as we grow together. But let's get right to it. When she walks away, there are going to be some instances in your life where you're going to have some connections with women and you're going to be blindsided. You're going to think everything is going well. You're going to acknowledge that you and this particular woman had a good experience, and you know you showed up as an elevated presence in her life. She said things like, "I've never felt this safe before." She talked about the enjoyable moments that you two shared together. You saw the level of attraction that she had for you based on how she offered herself to you as soon as you two met. There was little resistance. There was just good times, and there was somewhat of a road in front of you that could have potentially developed into something. But that's never a guarantee. There's no promises with this thing called attraction and dating. There's no promises. There's no guarantees. There's just an opportunity every day to put one foot in front of the next, offer the best version of yourself to the woman, and see if she meets you the same way that you're meeting her. And so there's going to be times where women pull back. They walk away. They'll have the conversation with you. We're not compatible. I've been thinking things over. And it will blindside you, especially if you know that you were showing up the right way and that you were making an impact in her life and you could see that she was benefiting from your presence. It can be a bit of a blindside, but you have to inhale the reality and the gravity of her statement of her wanting to walk away. And she may give you an explanation or she may not, but you should never ask for an explanation. Just understand that and inhale the gravity of the fact that she doesn't see you as her best option. Something about you changed in her mind from how she initially was dealing with you, and to get to the point to actually give you a phone call and tell you that she's no longer interested. You have to fully inhale the gravity of her actions. And like I said before, forget the explanation, because self-love has to kick in immediately when she says she doesn't want to be there. Your only words to her should be, you shouldn't be looking for an explanation. Your only words to her should just be, well, thank you, for the good times. And I'm not going to try to convince you to stay. I accept what you're serving to me. I accept your decision, because self-love cannot coexist with a woman who is attempting to walk away from you, who's walking away from you. Self-love can't exist. The only way self-love exists in that space is that you willingly let her walk away with no resistance. And you just tell her, I'm not going to try to convince you. If this is the conclusion you came to, then I'll live with it. And that's the beginning and the end of the conversation. Now, some connections are deeper than others based on the amount of time you spent with the woman, but that self-love has to kick in and just understand that you can no longer be present. You shouldn't have a desire to be present with a woman who does not desire to be present with you any longer. It's really that simple. Your self-love has to kick in, and you have to fully embrace her words to you and accept the decision that she made. And that's just what it comes down to. You let her walk away with no resistance. That's how you respond to a woman who walks away from you. And it doesn't matter that you did everything right and that she knows that she had an elevated experience with you. And she showed you that, articulated that in so many different ways. But she may have just come to some sort of conclusion that there's incompatibility or something happened. But this is something that you have to accept, is that She had a continuum of conversations deeply within her spirit and her mind about you. And the conclusion was that her life is better without you. You have to accept that. This wasn't all of a sudden. She had, in her own words, she may have said she meditated or she took some time to think about this. And believe me, she had a good experience with you. It's not on the fly decision that she made. Like, she took some time to come to this conclusion, and that's why you have to walk away, is because she views you as someone that is a representation of a decreased quality of life for her. You're not her best option moving forward. There's some things that she may want from life that you just don't represent, and that's perfectly fine. Because the right woman's desire for you is never going to wane. It's only going to increase over time. And so there's going to be nothing in the back of your mind concerning this woman, because you see that desire for you increasing over time. And that's the woman that you want to stay in the game with. It would never cross the right woman's mind to walk away from you. It will never cross the right woman's mind to walk away from you. And that's something that you have to accept. That if you're showing up the right way, if you've worked on yourself from the inside out, if you're always growing, you're elevating, the results in your life are consistently getting better, you're more recognizable to a larger pool of women. That's when you're an elevated man, and you're elevating as a man. You cannot entertain a woman or try to coerce a woman to stay in your space who doesn't want to be there, because the right woman is going to recognize you, and she's going to continue to recognize and revere you over time until you feel safe with her and you can engage in something long-term with her. So when a woman walks away, you just let her. You just let her. And when you let the woman walk away with no resistance, now you become a ghost. You become a ghost. You become a stain in her mind. Because a lot of times women, they'll have that conversation within themselves. They might talk to other women or counselors or mental health therapists, whoever they talk to. And they're coming to you in confidence, in complete confidence that they can be better without you. But the reality doesn't hit them until you become a ghost and you're gone. Until you say, I'm not going to pose any resistance. And that's when the truth of how she really feels about you is something that she has to contend with. She has to contend with your ghost, because your self-love made it sure that you're no longer present. And so you have to leave her alone with your ghost. And you have to become a ghost. That's the only way that you can leave her alone with the ghost of your memory and the experience that she had with you. And many times the woman will, she'll do two things. She'll time will progress, and she'll accept that she made the right decisions, and that something about you, even though things started a certain way, just didn't give her a level of peace. That happens sometimes. Meaning she's free and clear, she's gone, you're never going to hear from her again. But in many cases, when she's alone with your ghost, and she has to remember the times that you all spent together. She has to remember how safe she felt in your presence. She has to remember the first time experiences that she had with you. Maybe no one cared for her in that way. Maybe no one cooked for her. Maybe no one, was as attractive as you. Maybe no one just made her feel the way that she felt when she was in your presence. That's the ghost that she has to contend with. And you have some of these dating coaches that talk about getting your ex back. That's the most self-destructive perspective that I've heard in the dating space. One of the most self-destructive perspectives I've heard is trying to get someone back who doesn't want to be with you. That's crazy. You can't love yourself and try to convince somebody to come back that gave up on you. And you have to accept that she gave up on you. And she has to accept it as well. So she's alone with your ghost. And that's the only time when the truth of how she really feels about you and the presence in her life that you created is staying in her mind. So if you're an elevated man, you're an attractive man, and you gave the woman a great experience, she has to contend with your ghost and the stain in her mind that you created by virtue of your presence. She has to contend with your ghost and the stain in her mind that you created by virtue of your presence. And many of those women will try to come back. but they should not have any access to you whatsoever. They should be completely blocked. Accept the gravity that she gave up on you. There's no other way to sugarcoat it or paint it. She gave up on you, and you need to accept that. So if she tries to come back, you have to operate from that perspective that she gave up on you. You gave her your best experience that you could possibly give to her, and she gave up on you. Whatever you gave to her, the representation of the man that you are, was not enough. And you have to accept that. You can't elevate and move forward in life unless you accept these harsh truths. She gave up on you. And there's no coming back after that. Because even if you let her back in your space, she's never going to respect you. And whatever you two had before is never going to be restored. It's never going to be the same. So if she tries to come back, she should not have access to you. As soon as a woman gives up on you, it makes no sense to hold any type of connection to her. She should be blocked in every capacity possible that she can have access to you. You have to literally become a ghost. And if your presence was an elevated presence in her life and she was better for knowing you, then she just have to contend with your ghost. But that's none of your business. Whatever she does moving forward in her life is none of your business. Don't look at her social media. Don't try to keep tabs on her and talk to her friends and see how she's doing and all that stuff. Be a ghost. Just be a ghost. Be a self-loving, self-respecting ghost. And let her contend with the stain in her mind that your presence created. And whatever emotion she's going through, whatever her future looks like without you, is none of your business. If you're truly creating a space for the woman that's never going to give up on you, that's going to show up in your life, and her attraction and desire for you is only going to increase until you all are so caught up with each other that the only logical thing is that you two take the next step towards a relationship and ultimately towards a marriage. That's the woman who sees you in the right light based on how you see yourself and how you're showing up to life and showing up to her life as well. So you never try to re-engage a woman. And if the woman attempts to re-engage with you, she shouldn't have access to you. Her number should be blocked. Her social media should be blocked. Because why would you want any open space, available space between you and someone who gave up on you? Think about that. They gave up on you. I can't say it enough. So they shouldn't have any access to you whatsoever. And if they try to come back, if they find a way to call you from a number and beg you to stay on the phone from a number that you don't recognize, just block them. Let them know, don't ever contact me again. That's the only way that you're going to move forward towards a woman who would never do this to you. And you deserve that. If you've worked on yourself and you know that you're improving and that you're a good man and a good catch and you're an elevated man that can elevate a woman, that your presence in her life can increase her quality of life, then no woman who gave up on you should have access to you, because you're robbing yourself of the experience and the opportunity of the woman who would never do that to you. And that's what it comes down to. You have to be a ghost. You have to be a ghost. And a lot of these women, yeah, they will try to come back because they've messed up every good thing that came in their life. There's no amount of therapy. There's no amount of counseling. There's nothing that can help women like this. Some women are just self-destructive. They're just self-destructive, man. And if you look at it, you were protected and you were blessed by her exiting your life, especially if it happens quickly. Your creator saw the chaos that was on the other side that was going to take you away from your best outcomes in life. Your creator saw the chaos on the other side, and you were protected. The best outcomes that you can experience in life moving forward, you were protected and you were preserved so that you could fully and wholeheartedly embrace and experience the best that is for you. So when they try to come back, don't give them an inch. Don't give them an inch. And just let them contend with your ghost. Yeah, they're going to create some fake accounts on social media to try to track you. They might have a Google number or something like that they call you from that's unrecognizable. I've had women hit me up on WhatsApp, man. These women got desperate. And I'm like, shorty, you made a decision. I have no desire to re-engage with you, and goodbye. Move on. And some of those women will be stalking your social media for years, man. Prolonged periods of time after she walked away from you and you accepted it and you became a ghost. That's what typically happens. I'm not going to say every woman, but a lot of women will realize they made a mistake, but you're not the first. If a woman is chaotic and she doesn't have any internal peace and she's all over the place, and then she has a habit of messing up good things. Her life is chaos. She has no focus. She has no direction, no purpose. She's all over the place. And if you weren't spared, then that toxicity would have seeped into your life and taken hold of you. That toxicity would have seeped into your life and taken hold of you. That's one thing I learned after I let a toxic woman go years ago. I could see myself changing by remaining in her space. And that was one of my most glaring realizations when things were over, is that toxicity seeps into anything that's in its path. If you keep a toxic woman around, a woman who cannot handle an elevated man, who's making her quality of life better, who is a departure from the men that she normally deals with, if she can't handle that, then that toxicity is going to seep into your life and it's going to begin to change you from the inside out. So just accept you were spared. The fact that she walked away from you and you didn't see it coming and you were blindsided, you were spared. And that has to be your perspective, because you were spared and you were preserved for the woman who would never do this to you, who would never put anything in the back of your mind concerning her. You were spared. And the only thing that's on the other side of re-engaging with her when she attempts to come back is chaos. It's going to be 10 times worse. And whatever issue that she had with you that made her walk away from you, is as soon as she gets back in your space and you all get back on good terms and her emotions stabilize in terms of she doesn't have to face the reality of losing you, whatever glaring hole that she saw in you is going to resurface in her mind, and it's going to get worse. And it's going to be worse for you because you're giving it a second chance, and your heart is going to be broken even worse the second time. You don't want to go to a depth with a woman who doesn't want you, that you're scarred, and that you hit a depth of disappointment and heartbreak that you may never be the same and you can't come back from it. You have to look at this, especially if it happened early on, as preservation. Preservation, preserving your heart for the woman whose heart is going to be coming towards you, and your hearts are going to become one, with neither one of you having anything in the back of your mind concerning the other person. So you were spared. And whatever they do moving forward in their life is none of your business. Self-love has to make it so that you have no desire to know what's going on in her life. As soon as she gave up on you, then that's when your desire to have any dealings with her or any knowledge about her should permanently subside. You were spared. And so don't take it personally. It's just life. Relationships do come to ends. And it's just life. But you have to love yourself to never look back. That's what happened to Lot's wife in the Bible. She looked back and she turned to a pillar of salt. After the escape and the avenue of escape was made, you have to understand that when this woman comes out of nowhere and tells you that she wants to walk away, that is your avenue of escape in many cases. And you never want to look back, because all you're going to do is compromise every blessing and breakthrough and enjoyable experience that is supposed to come to you moving forward in your life. You'll sabotage your own blessings by re-engaging with the woman who gave up on you. So there's nothing worth looking back for. And she may realize she made a mistake, and she may cry, beg, and plead, but it's okay, because that's none of your business. That's a decision that she made, and you have to make the decision to preserve the best quality of life that you can have moving forward. So when she walks away, you do nothing but let her. You never re-engage. You love yourself enough to understand that there's a woman who would never do those things to you, whose desire and attraction to you will only increase, who will understand and fully inhale the magnitude of man that you are and celebrate every attribute that you have to offer to this world and to her. I've said enough. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach, bringing you a video tonight titled, She Walked Away. When she walks away. Fully inhale, she walked away. Fully inhale that and let your self-love bring every reality surrounding that into focus. It's been brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. They're life-changing, groundbreaking, revolutionary books that are going to elevate you and take you to places you've never been. www.matthewchorne.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me up the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these messages. If this video has been of value to you, and you know your thought processes have been elevated as a result of encountering this message, don't forget to donate something to me. Drop something in my PayPal and my Cash App. That's in the description. And if you understand that someone like me, Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach, could help you to have better and optimal experiences in the dating space, I am your dating coach. I'm your man. If you know that this is the case and you've been impacted by my messages, email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave your name, your phone number, and whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space. I will do an assessment and I will come to you immediately. I'll call you with solutions and we can start the coaching immediately. matt@matthewchorne.com for life-changing, groundbreaking coaching. And to people who have been inquiring about me making custom videos in my comments, I can make a custom video for you for whatever topic you want. A donation of $50 or more to my Cash App or my PayPal will get your custom video on my page, Matthew C. Horne Dating, within 24 hours or less. When you make the donation, leave a note in either PayPal or Cash App and let me know the topic you want me to speak about. Or if you want to talk about that topic more in depth, make your donation and email me at matt@matthewchorne.com and speak more in depth about the topic that you want me to cover. And your video will come in 24 hours or less on my page, Matthew C. Horne Dating. I've enjoyed spending some time with you tonight. There's always going to be some more videos coming your way. I'm getting to it at least every other night out of love for you all, okay? And just don't forget, never move towards someone who's moving away from you. When that woman makes that declaration that her life is better without you, when she walks away, never get in her way. Love yourself enough to understand that you were spared and preserved, and understand that there's something much greater than whatever experience that just ended. Let her walk away, and you move forward to everything that is for you in life. I'll see you soon.